What is going on, guys? DBG here. In this video, we're going to be talking about which of the Moments cards are likely to be worth it tomorrow. So we're going to be looking in depth at just kind of like the releases of these guys, basically. Just their releases, their dribble styles. And we're going under the assumption, because they didn't change T-Mac, we're going under the assumption that 2K are not really going to be changing anyone's jump shots or anything. So it's likely going to be, this video is going to take a little bit of time to do, but I do think it'll be important. It's always important to go in something like this with like a little bit of an idea of what you want. So we're first looking at AJ Green, who is in the Milwaukee Bucks roster. A shooting guard, small forward. 6'4" though, which is a little bit annoying. The release is super. Like, this release is legitimately great. The problem is the dribble style. It could be Embiid. Like, it actually could be Embiid if I'm not mistaken. Like, AJ Green. No, it's Chris Paul. Ooh. Oh, that is a nice dribble style. So, obviously, it's just this is a really low rated version of him in rosters. But he's going to be an elite shooter, especially if they go and give him all those shooting badges. He's going to be a real nice shooter. He has 0 defense at all in his gold card, so I don't really know what they're going to do with him, but he's going to be a nice shooter anyway. Then we've got Day'Ron Sharpe, who is a center. And he plays for the Brooklyn Nets. So he is a 6'9" center. He's undersized. Like, Day'Ron Sharpe is legitimately, like, if he's not a shooter, look, he's a 6'9" center power forward. So that's really what you're looking at here. And Day'Ron Sharpe actually does not even have a card in the roster. He's not even currently in the Nets roster. But he does come with his own release, basic dribble style. And he's no 3-ball in his regular card. So he's probably not going to get a 3-ball in this card either, which just is not ideal now, is it? Like, you'd rather have guys to shoot the ball. So far, probably not going to be the too great as far as the budget cards go. But someone like Caleb Houston could be really nice. Because, well, just the way the game is. Because he's not that short, is he? I think Caleb Houston isn't that short. Yeah, he's a 6'8" small forward. And can he play shooting guard? Or is he 6 small forward power forward? Yeah, so he's a 6'8" shooting guard. With a mediocre release. I'm not going to call it good. Pro dribble style, but it's like it's Devin Booker. The Bryn Forbes upper, ugh, don't know how I feel about it. Pro dribble style is good though. But the Bryn Forbes upper, it kind of kills Eddie Jones. But he's got a nice long player build. He's going to be able to shoot the ball. If he gets any sort of defense, we're looking at a nice card here. Because as well as that, man's got the Curry slide. Like, Booker base. Legitimately, Booker base. This card's going to be a joke. He has got Booker base, Curry slide, pro dribble style. Booker base with the Curry slide. Just those two. You don't even need the pro dribble style. Just Booker base, the Curry slide. And you're like, okay, you've gotten an elite player. And he's a 6'8" shooting guard. Like, we're looking at potentially James Jones with defense if they decide to give him defense. Which is absolutely wild. But again, now we're going to go and take a look at Jalen Johnson. Because Jalen Johnson's always pretty decent in 2K anyway. He has been ever since the start. 6'8" as well. When it comes to Jalen Johnson, you're getting yourself a garbage release. Holy moly. That upper is broken. He used that Michael Jordan release. And it looks like basic dribble style. No, stay away. Stay away from this bum. Dear Lord. I didn't think he was going to be up to much. Tyus Jones and Emmanuel Quickly both suffer from the problem of being just way too small for what they are. Like, they just suffer from that problem. That they are too small to be very usable in-game. But I'm still shocked about Caleb Houston, like 6'8" SG with Booker base. Like with Booker base, pro dribble style, and the Curry side. Like, that is huge. That is absolutely huge for this card, because you know what is not huge are the 3 cards we've seen since that card, though. Now we are going to take a look at the with some more of the amethyst. Miles Turner has potential. Like, when we're looking at cards and I'm saying who has potential, Miles Turner is one of those guys that legitimately has potential to be top tier as far as centers are concerned. So, like, okay, is he going to re-dribble the ball? No. He's got basic or Embiid. Doesn't really matter. But his release is basically Anthony Davis' release. And the thing with Miles Turner, like the release, especially on the next, it's better on current gen than AD. But on next gen, it definitely looks it looks almost like AD. It feels almost like AD. He's going to have a 3-ball. He's going to be able to block shots. Like, if you guys don't remember back in the 2Ks, like 2K17, 18, and maybe for a bit of 19, back in the day, when Miles Turner was that guy in 2K, because not many centers could block shots, rebound, and shoot, and could move a little bit, and that's what Miles Turner did. Is he going to be the fastest player in the world? Probably not, but you're going to be looking at one of the nicer pick and pop centers in the game, because he's 6'10", which is, again, I'm pretty sure he's 6'10", isn't he? He's 6'11", so you're looking at a guy that could be at that DeAndre Ayton level. And then we've got another card in Kobe White. And Kobe White's another one of those guys that has that potential. He could be so good. Like, is Kobe White an all-star this year? Probably not, but he's been really, really good. But Kobe White, 6'5". He's got the, what's his dribble style? Is it pro? Am I right in saying that Kobe White's dribble style is pro? Like, I'm not the greatest when it comes to that. No, it's Iverson. Ooh. That is pretty nice. And the release is good. It reminds me of Derek White's. Like, it's super fast. It's Kobe White on quick. That's a real good release. Check the fade. The fade's nice as well. Like, and he's going to obviously get he's going to be able to do everything, because at this stage, almost every card in the game is able to do everything. Is he going to be able to shoot from deep? Probably not, but, like, not every card needs to. Yeah, this release is super fast. Like, again, I don't know how to use it. I haven't been using Kobe White at all, and he probably doesn't have the greatest 3-point rating on this card right here, but Kobe White, he's 6'4", so he's shrunk an inch. He still has potential, man. He still has a lot of potential as a card in this game. I will say it, he's a ton of potential. And another card that's a ton of potential is Sam Merrill. I really like Sam Merrill in this game. Like, I know people aren't going to be that hyped on Sam Merrill, but I think his release is really good. So, like, I used the Ruby at the start of the year, the summer standouts, and was, like, very pleasantly surprised by this card. By just, well, not even this card, just the player himself. Because Sam Merrill's release is not as good as I remember it. Maybe I just liked him because he could shoot at the start of the game. Bones Highland Kuzma, basic dribble style. How was I hyping this guy up at the start of the year? I get it. I love Lee Leaner. Absolutely elite leaner. Maybe call it one of the best leaners in the entire game. Normal 2. It's all this guy has is the leaner. Why was I so high on this guy? It was week 1. It was week 1. Oh, I was looking forward and thinking, okay, yeah, we've got ourselves a guy here to use. No, Sam Merrill. I don't know why I hyped you up so much. You are very, very average. And then we're on to Bam Adebayo. Kendrick Perk. I still don't think Kendrick Perkins can pronounce Bam Adebayo's name correctly, though. To be fair, like, it's one of those ones just like Karl and Ijian Lian Yi Yalen that I'll pronounce it wrong so many times that, like, eventually I'll start calling him the wrong name. But Bam Adebayo is gonna be real good. Like, we can't forget that Amethyst Bam was nice. And that Amethyst Bam couldn't shoot a lick. Actually, he could, sorry. He only had a 63 ball, but he's still hitting everything. Bam's release this year is immaculate. He's had a bad release in other years, immaculate release this year. Problem with Bam is he's not particularly tall. Like if you're looking 6'9", but he's going to be elite defensively. Does he have a dribble style? No, it's basic. So he's not really going to be able to dribble. He's not going to be shooting fades with the basic fade. But he is going to be shooting the 3-ball. Just putting it out there. He's going to be knocking down the 3-ball for you guys. And that is basically what you want. Like, if you're running with a power forward, you don't necessarily need them a lot of the time to dribble the ball. You've got an elite defender and you've got a guy who can shoot the ball. So I'm happy with that card. I'm definitely happy to hype him up, especially if you can get him for free. He would be really good. You got bojan bogdanovic. What dribble style is that? Is that Trey? I don't know how I feel about that jump shot. It's not fast, it's not slow. Fade's okay. Oh, I don't know how I feel. Is he 6'8"? 6'7". No, he's a 6'7" small forward with a release that I'm not 100% certain of. Cannot really recommend this guy. But Dante DiVincenzo is one of those ones that Knicks fans are going to be hot. Knicks fans are Knicks fans. There are the only people that I know that will use their favorite, like, no matter what, in the community. Like, obviously, a lot of people will use their favorite players, but the only people in, like, the hardcore MyTEAM community that will use their favorite players no matter what are Knicks fans. So I gotta respect that. Any Knicks fan choosing to use Dante DiVincenzo, I respect that. That looks like Trae Young dribble style, is it? Not a terrible release, I guess. There's about 1 million cards this year. Forget pro play, like 1 million cards this year shoot this exact way. So it's Levine dribble style. Lovely stuff. He's got a bad fade. Release. There's 100 players in this game with this exact release. I don't know what the hell pro play has done, but I genuinely think that outside of the like superstar players, pro play is just, everyone's release just feels so weird, other than like Terrence Mann or something. But DiVincenzo, 6'4", point guard. If you're a big time Knicks fan, you really want to use Dante DiVincenzo. Be my guest. You're getting a nice player there. You really are. But it's just the price. Like, if you're going to be the guy, who's going to be the chump that spends 100k on Dante DiVincenzo? Maybe a Terry Rozier. Problem is he's 6'1". He cannot cross the ball over properly without doing anything long. Okay. That looks like Trey dribble style. Terry Rozier's release is real good. Like, once you get used to this is actually a really good release. Terrible pro fadeaway. Pro fades are so hard to do anything with because just they create too much separation, and it's good going left, but if you're going right, it's very hard to really get anything out of it. But it is one of those releases that either hold a little bit longer than you think, which can be very awkward to shoot if you're not used to playing with him all the time. But Terry Rozier is going to be fine. And then Joel Embiid. We all know about Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is going to be a big, big body. As somebody who does not like Joel Embiid's diamond card and did not like Joel Embiid's diamond card when he came out, like, I will say this card's going to be pretty good. He is going to be a nice center. The release isn't that bad. He's going to be a big body center. He's going to block shots at an elite rate. He's going to move a bit. Hopefully get speed in the mid 80s. But if his speed is in the 70s, which I can have a weird feeling his speed is going to be in the 70s, I can't say he's worth much. I can't say he's really worth using. But Embiid is still going to be a real nice card. And is Embiid going to be better than the lock-in, which is Jaylen Brown? I don't know. See, I don't know that one. Because Jaylen Brown, the lock-in for the East. Look, Jaylen Brown, if they don't change Jaylen Brown's release, yeah, just don't. I'm telling you right now, if they don't change the release, just do not get this card. I don't mind Jaylen. I like Jaylen Brown in this game. Do I think he's good? Not really, but like, I didn't mind the diamond, but like, it's LeBron dribble style, I think. His fade isn't greatest. It's not bad. But the release, it's just one of those ones where you're like, can you green with him? Yes. Can you do anything else with him? Probably not. Is his release fast enough to get off? No. I can't... If he doesn't get... Like, I don't hate LeBron dribble style. I don't love it. If he does not get his release move to quick, there is no way he's going to play better than the Diamond. The Diamond already has 7 Hoff badges, basically perfect in every stat. Things like gold clamp breaker, gold, a lot of gold defensive badges, and everything shooting-wise but range pretty much, and agent 3s. Like, the Diamond sucked. We hate the Diamond, so why would we hype up this card? So, no, Jaylen Brown is not worth picking up. There is no scenario where Jaylen Brown's worth picking up. And now we're 15 minutes into the video, and we're on to the Western Conference, lads. And we're now going to look at Max Christie first, who does have potential. Like, this is a 6'5" guy that can play point guard. Like, you can't ever, like, count out one of these type of guys, because you just never know what releases and stuff 2K give them. Is that LeBron dribble style? The release is good. Wow, that release is actually really good. Because Max Christie's tall in game. Max Christie 6'5" with a 6'8" wingspan. Normal dribble style. Oh. It feels almost like LeBron's at times. But the release is real good. And he's tall. Like, if he plays defense and dunks, you're looking at a guy who will do everything. He's not going to be a creator, but he'll be a real good point guard. Especially for as cheap as he is going to be. Now, you're looking at a potentially really, really good point guard. Then we have got Trace Jackson Davis from the Warriors, who is a power forward / center. The Warriors in general, though, I'm not like, well, they've been terrible this year, but I just don't know when it comes to centers in the Warriors. If I even trust him 2K, Jesus Christ, that's unusable. And what am I talking? Why am I shooting? Warrior centers get rebounds and stand under the basket. He's a 6'9" center who can't shoot. What are we doing? I know what we're doing, but it's not like it's struggling. What we're doing with that card is struggling if you guys are going to use him. But look, it is what it is. Sometimes the cards just aren't good. It happens. KAS Wallace. KAS Wallace was that guy last year. He really was that guy. Like, I'm not pressing number 2 here. Oh, wow. All right. Is he still 6'4"? If he's still 6'4", you're looking at a good card. No, he's 6'3", damn. So he's got, I was about to say, his release is unbelievable, and he's got pro dribble style with the Iverson behind the back. I'm like, no, it doesn't matter. He's 6'3". He was 6'4" with a long wingspan last year. If he was still 6'4", he could be good. There's a, like, because of his dribbling, there's, like, certain stats that they could give KAS Wallace to make him pretty good. Can't see them doing it, though. Then from the Denver Nuggets, we have got Julian Strawder, who plays at the shooting guard / small forward position, which is okay, because he's 6'6", which is definitely a fine height for a shooting guard. Like, I wouldn't be opposed to ever using this guy, just because of height. He's got normal dribble style, I think. Oh my god, that release is quick. Why do so many of these rookies have releases that are, like, ridiculously quick? That's his release on normal. So he's got Iverson dribble style, just because he obviously has a low rating. What's his release meant to look like on quick? What the hell is this? I don't know if it's the upper or the base, but that's the quickest normal release I've used this year. Alright, this guy's got the potential to be a sniper. He has the potential to be an absolute sniper, lads. So I would be, I'd be on the lookout for a guy like him. Clarkson 6'4", isn't he? No, Clarkson 6'5" this year. Ooh, now that's an interesting one for the Utah Jazz. Clarkson being 6'5" is that that is a bit of a game changer, you know, because he always moves pretty well in game. I say that because he used to have quick and shifty, and he's got Michael Jordan dribble style. Yes, Jordan Clarkson. Jordan Clarkson, 6'5", skinny player build. Isn't going to play much defense. Jordan dribble style, though, and his release is magnificent. Oh, please tell me. He has his own leaner, which is annoying. So everybody has their own leaner, pretty much, other than like Trae Young, just doesn't fade away. I actually hate that. I hate seeing guys their own leaner because they just stand on the spot. They're horrible on shoot, like Tatum, Tyler Hero. This release is super good though for Jordan Clarkson. Like, it's on the quicker end of normal timing. Not even on the quicker end, on the quickest end. And for a 6'5" point guard with a release like this, if his defense is decent, which they might do, you've got a good card on your hands, lads. You got a real good card in your hands. There is potential here in this guy. And like some cards, I'm not going to hype up the fact if a card has no potential. But if a card has potential, he could be good. He could be real good. And now we're on to Dante Exum. 6'5" point guard. Problem is, he's a point guard with basic dribble style. He needs that 86 ball handle to timing burst. His basic dribble style is awful. Dante Exum base right now, I would actually say it's one of the better bases in the game. Because it's so straight up and down. It is one of the most consistent bases I've seen this year. It is just, I've tried to shoot off everything, testing out Exum to see is it as good as other years. Is it as good as other years? No. But I'm still going to put Dante Exum as like one of the 10 best releases I've seen in the game this year. It's just so consistent. Consistency is key in this game. And Dante Exum base is still unbelievable. And this time, Dante Exum actually has Dante Exum base, which is very, very important because other years he did not have Exum base. So then we are going to be looking at Trey Murphy from the New Orleans Pelicans. So Trey Murphy in this game, he was good last year. Don't get me wrong, Trey Murphy was good last year. But I just want to check the dribbling. That is normal. Oh, that release is good. That release is good. Like, Trey Murphy has got the Levine dribble style, which is very annoying. A decent release on normal timing. And he's 6'8" though. Which is nice, I guess. No real SIGs. He has the potential to be good. Because, like, there's a lot of good, like, 6'7", 6'8" power small forwards in this game. Like, he does have potential to be good because the release is pretty nice. So, Trey Murphy is one of those guys that I will definitely say is an interesting person. And then we have got the next, Ivica Zubac. Zubac can't shoot. Zubac is going to be useless. I just want to put it out there. Like, Zubac is going to be useless. There's no point even talking about Zubac because he's going to be garbage. And then likelihood is that Nurkic is going to suck as well. But the one thing with Nurkic is that his release isn't terrible. So Nurkic isn't going to be fast, but there is potential that Nurkic is going to be a pretty nice stretch big. Because what Nurkic has is a big-ass player build. He rebounds well, and his release is actually just money. If he happened to have had a elite shooting game when he got this breakout card, and they give him a high 3 ball, he's good. He is good. Like, I wouldn't hype him up for no reason, but he could be good. He could be very good. And then when it comes to Sengun, obviously Sengun is not really going to be up to much dribbling wise. We've all used a lot of us have used the Diamond Duo Sengun with the Jalen Green. I like the release. I don't think it's anything spectacular. I think he's a nice popper. I think he's going to be a nice small forward power, or not small forward. I think he's going to be a nice power forward or a nice center for budget players. Because he is 6'10", I think, isn't he? 6'11". So, the way the game's played, he could probably survive at center. I wouldn't be that hyped for him, but I do think that he's definitely one of the better players you're going to see in this game. And then we're looking at Anfernee Simons from the Portland Trail Blazers. Am I right in saying what dribble style is that? Release is, wow. His release used to be like Draymond's. That's a really hard release to time. I just want to put that out there. Like, Simon's release is actually really hard to time. So Anfernee Simons has got the Lillard dribble style, which is pretty good. He has his own release on normal timing. But the good thing about Anthony Simons, Curry slide. He's going to have the Curry slide. He's going to have a pretty good leaner. He's going to also be able to dunk the ball on elite rate. So if you can get that release down, which isn't easy, you got a nice card in your hands. You do have a nice card in your hands. But he's somebody that, like, I wouldn't pay for a 6'3" point guard. Like, especially the price that he's going for. And, like, it's probably not worth locking in. So unless you happen to get this guy for free, I don't really see how there's going to be much of a purpose to this card here. And there's Devin, Vassell. Vassell's been really good historically in 2K. The problem is that Vassell has been historically, like, a budget player. So, like, historically in 2K, we've seen versions of Devin Vassell for real cheap, and he's kind of done a job in all those cards. Whereas with Devin Vassell now, like, you're looking at basic dribble style. A mediocre release. It's not bad. Actually, why am I saying mediocre? You're looking at a very good release. But you're looking at a 6'5" player with basic dribble style. I cannot justify... Like, you can't justify spending 100k, regardless of how good his jump shot is and how good he is defensively, on a 6'5" dude with basic dribble style who can't play the one. You don't want him really playing the one, but like, it is what it is when it comes to that. But yeah, I'm not high on him. But when it comes to Keegan Murray has got some potential. He's like, if you guys used Keegan Murray at the start of the year, he was really good. Problem, basic dribble style, but he's big and his release is good. Simple as that. A bit of height and a good release can get you a long way. Do I think he's going to be any spectacular? Not really. Like, do I think he's going to be better than Trey Murphy? Maybe not. He's still going to be decent though. But like, I'm still more excited for like Julian Strawder than I am for Keegan Murray. And so it just is what it is with a card like that. And then we got a card that's going to be good, Desmond Bane. The only thing with Desmond Bane is that his release is a little bit slow. So Desmond Bane, just the movement of Desmond Bane. If you guys used Desmond Bane at the start of the year, he just moved so much better than everybody else. The release is just slow. Like, we had the Ruby Desmond Bane who can already shoot from anywhere. Like, Ruby Desmond Bane, that's not even out of the range of possibility for him. But like, the dribble moves on Desmond Bane are really good. So Desmond Bane's gonna be so fun to use. Like, so much more fun than an Embiid. Not as good as an Embiid, but so much more fun. Like, Desmond Bane's just gonna be one of those like real nice cards. The problem is, if you are buying a guy that cannot play the point guard position, who is 6'5", with the smallest arms in the damn game, with T-Rex arms, you cannot justify paying 200k for him. That is the issue, is that he's 200k. And then there's Karl Anthony Towns, who's the lock-in. And I like Cat. I think Cat, like, regardless of what the Debo wants to say, I think Cat's actually pretty good this year. I think Cat's alright. Like, is he going to dribble the ball? No, but he's going to shoot. He's going to be big and shoot. Like, he's 7 foot tall. It's not that bad a release. It's quick. It's so quick. Like, it is hard, like, it's hard enough to time, like, not to time, to, like, time by visual cue. Because the visual cue is weird, but, like, it's just so quick. Like, you're not telling me that you wouldn't take this super quick flick over what we used to have when it came to Cat. Over the ultra slow release you could never get off. Timing, not ideal, but still, Cat's getting pretty good. Problem is that you're locking in, like, 400k or, like, $30-40 worth of VC, and he's just never going to be worth it. He's just never going to be worth it for a guy who, while a quick release and I think a pretty good release, you can definitely argue it's inconsistent. So, yeah, we are right here looking at these cards. Spent nearly a half an hour. The cards I think are going to be worth it. Caleb Houston is definitely going to be worth whatever, 5 to 10k. He's going to be a GOAT. I think that Bam could be very nice for expensive players. I think Miles Turner and Kobe are going to be great affordable options. I think Embiid's probably going to be a bit overpriced, but if you can somehow get him for free, he's going to be elite. And in the Western Conference, I think Nurkic has potential to be good. I think especially like Simons, if you can get him for free. Same as Sengun could be good. But I also do think that you're going to be mostly looking at Jordan Clarkson, Dante Exum. You're probably going to be looking at Max Christie, Julian Strawder, and Jordan Clarkson as the good players in the West. Anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.